With any game as large as Roblox stores, there's bound to be plenty of useless information hiding within the crevices. You know, the types of things which generally go unnoticed by the community, things that aren't particularly interesting. However, there's a reason you clicked on this video, and that is to learn these worthless facts. And luckily for you, I'm just the type of person to make a whole video dedicated to documenting this type of stuff. So today, as you have probably guessed, I'll be telling you the most useless and impractical facts about Roblox stores you might not have known about. I don't want to waste any more of your time, so with all of that being said, let's begin. Fact number 1. Whenever a modifier negatively influences how many knobs you'd gain if it is activated, the knobs icon will receive a red tint. Look, as you can see from this image, the knob icon on the modifier which gives plus 25% knobs is normal, whereas the one on the modifier which gives minus 50% knobs is more red. I'm not entirely sure why this is, but I can definitely tell you that this little feature flew over my head the first few times I started using modifiers. Fact number 2. Still on the topic of modifiers, many of you know that if any are enabled, the painting in room 60 will receive a Crescent Moon icon as well as a modifier icon, besides the large 4-pointed star, as you can see on the image I put on the screen. However, what you may not have known is that after enabling a certain amount of modifiers, the Crescent Moon icon just vanishes, leaving just the modifier icon and a 4-pointed star. The Doors Wiki states that this occurrence only happens if you are playing with a 193% or higher modifier bonus, so it makes sense why so many players probably have never seen this iteration of the painting, as the game would be tremendously difficult with this many modifiers active. Fact number 3. Something you might not have noticed about A90 is that when you are attacked by it, they actually hide behind their stop sign. It might be a little hard to tell from the image on the screen, but that static where the hand symbol is located is actually part of A90's face. This actually makes a lot of sense, because right before A90 either disappears due to being avoided or is about to jump scare you, their stop sign disappears, and for a few frames you can see their face in the center of the screen, right where the stop sign originally was. Fact number 4. Many of you know about and have probably experienced a Screech fake-out. This is a relatively common event where Screech's iconic psst sound will play in order to scare the player. However, Screech isn't actually present. You can actually detect whether you are hearing a real or fake psst sound based on the volume of the audio cue, as if it is quieter, it is fake. However, what you may not have known is that Rush also has these fake-out events too, where throughout the game you can hear quieter and shorter versions of their audio cues. I personally don't ever recall hearing one of these in-game, but that's just me. Fact number 5. Many of you probably think that Rush is guaranteed to spawn in every single run, and although that for the most part is true, it technically isn't correct. You see, based on the Doors Wiki, Rush has a 1 in quintillion chance not to spawn at all in a single playthrough of the game. Just so we are on the same page, a quintillion is a 1 followed by 18 zeros, so it is an absolutely massive number. So yeah, I don't think anyone is getting a rushless run anytime soon, but it is still technically possible. Fact number 6. Jack actually has an updated render which isn't used in the game. In fact, the image of Jack you are seeing on the screen right now is this updated model. It has a few differences from its current version, such as a more dispersed shadow and a more refined head shape, but overall it is mostly the same. As for if Jack's model will be updated to use this current one, who knows. However, overall it is pretty neat. Fact number 7. Believe it or not, but this sparkle image is actually used for a ton of entities and items in the game. Not only does it make up the particle effects for Guiding Light and Curious Light, but it also is used as Halt Size as well as some particle effects for the Eyes entity. Additionally, it is also used in the Flashlight and Shake Light models. So yeah, this one sparkle image is very versatile. Fact number 8. Figure is one of the only entities to cause the player to have a unique death. Whenever most entities kill you, your body will just ragdoll on the floor. However, if Figure kills you, your player character's head will be ripped off, and you also ragdoll on the floor. So yeah, it is mostly the same death, but your head is ripped off, so I guess that is pretty cool. Fact number 9. By slowing down the sound of Dread's ending soundtrack, you can actually hear one of Halt's whispers play in it. This is likely just a case of reusing sound assets, but it's still cool to see aspects of one part of the game appear in another. It creates a sense of interconnectivity, and I'm all for that. Fact number 10. Something you may not have known about the Void entity is that they actually become stronger the further you progress in the game. At the beginning of a round, they will only teleport you if you are 5 rooms behind. However, this number changes to 4 rooms once you reach the infirmary, and it reduces further to 3 rooms after the second Seek chase. Still, this shouldn't affect gameplay too much, as Void is essentially impossible to encounter in solo runs, and players typically stick together in multiplayer runs. Fact number 11. This one may be a little hard to see, but apparently Halt Size appear in the center of the Buddy System badge icon. If you look close enough, you can make out 2 glowing blue eyes right behind the players. As to why this is here, I'm not really sure. It is probably just a cool reference to the entity. Fact number 12. Another example of sound assets being reused you may have missed is that you can faintly hear Rush's ambience whilst the crucifix is being used. More specifically, the exact sound from Rush which is being reused is the ambience which plays whilst they are far away from you. Now personally, I can barely make it out, but the next time you use a crucifix, just listen for any sounds from Rush. Fact number 13. Speaking of the crucifix, it can actually be used on the Void entity, believe it or not. If you are holding a crucifix and Void attacks you, it will be used, and although you will still be teleported, you won't take any damage. Unfortunately, no animation plays, and judging by how Void doesn't really deal all too much damage anyways, this is generally viewed as a waste of a crucifix. Additionally, unlike using a crucifix on any other entity, using it on Void rewards no badge. Fact number 14. In the back door, if your timer is extremely low, you can actually hear Haste's breathing sounds faintly in the background, even before they spawn in. This is likely used as a warning that the entity is just on the verge of spawning, but it can also be viewed as helpful for knowing just how desperately you need more time. Now we have reached our final fact. Fact 15. Many of you know that the different rooms seen in the room's sublevel except A1000 are directly taken from the actual room's game. However, what you may not have known is that the exit rooms, which can be encountered roughly every 200 doors, despite not appearing in the actual room's game, are still from that game. You see, this room in particular was actually scrapped from that game, however it was implemented as the exit room in the Doors version. Anyways, those were all of the useless Doors facts I have for now. Let me know how many you knew in the comments, and while you're down there, tell me some facts that I didn't mention in this video. So with all of that being said, thank you all for watching and I hope you enjoy.